Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm sitting here in the shop. Just want to answer a question I had about the clutch kit. Emily has asked a lot of questions about this clutch kit that we have on the the 570 here, and so I figured I'd kind of go over a few things and see if we can explain this a little bit better. For first, the clutch kit, it does not change anything in the suspension or the final drives, I should say, of the four-wheeler. Everything that you're messing with is right here inside of this case. So basically inside of there, you've got like a primary and a secondary, pulleys, basically, is the best thing I can, describe this. The one that's in the front of here, it's got some weights and a bigger spring in it, and then the one in the back is just a bigger pulley. And basically what I'm talking about is that these things they're almost like a clamshell type thing. One of them's going to be closed together and then the other one's going to be opened up. And so basically what these things do is, with the weights and the springs, is the more you accelerate, one is going to close down and then the other one's going to open up. And what that does is it changes, it's almost like a variable gear ratio. So kind of like on a motorcycle, take the Africa Twin over there. On the front, on the engine side, you've got a small, sprocket, and then on the back tire you got a bigger sprocket. So if you change the front sprocket to even smaller and the back one to even bigger, you get lower gears, but if you went to a bigger sprocket on the front and a little sprocket on the back, you would get lower gears. So basically, this is how the four-wheelers are working when you're using these CVT transmissions, is that the front is starting out at a big gear, and the back is at the smaller set in the pulley, and then as you accelerate, it's changing that. So you're getting a variable set of gears all the way through. So what this is going to do is it's just affecting how this kind of runs through here. It's not affecting the gearing back here in the back or the gearing up in the front. She was also wanting to know about, did it affect the axles back here? And no, I didn't have to do anything back here because I haven't really messed with the ride height of this thing. So now if you changed and put a lift kit on this, then what you're going to do is you're changing the geometry of these wishbones back here, and you're going to put these axles in a bigger body. So if you do that, that's when you're going to start, messing with, probably getting some CV joint issues, snapping axles possibly because the links might be wrong, things like that. But just going ahead and putting this clutch kit in is not going to affect the geometry of the suspension at all. Okay, it's just going to change the gearing of this thing. Now, with me, I'm running these big ITP mud lights, and I'm not 100% on these, but I'm probably saying that these things are about 35 pounds a piece. So what that does is that's basically rotating mass. Okay, so the more weight you're putting on there, it was just causing this machine to labor even more to get everything moving. And when it does that, it puts a lot more strain on axles, CV joints, and that kind of thing. So by putting a clutch kit in there, what it did was it put stiffer springs, so it made those pulleys engage a lot faster. So it was biting the belt better, and it just changes everything. It's almost like the difference between you know, me using these big ITP mud tires in the mud versus, say, a racing slick. You know, it's all grip, you know, so the more grip you can put on that belt, the better it's going to go. You know, it's not slipping, it's not straining or anything like that. So one thing I did notice by messing with that is that, yes, I've got a lot more low-end power directed to the tires now than what I did. And it just made things so much better. It was like before, if I was in high gear, the front end of this thing was not going to come off the ground. The only time I could get the front end come off the ground is I put it in low, and then even low, even when I could get it up in the air and I could go a little bit, and you know, was still, I wouldn't run out of RPM range, you know, because of the low geared of it. Now with the clutch kit, low gear, yeah, if the front end comes up, it's going right back down because you've already maxed it out. The low gear is extremely low now, where it should be. In the high gear, I didn't change anything on top end. It was all just the bottom end is where this thing really got it. What else it changed was the stall on where this thing engages. You know, I'm wanting to say it used to engage at around 1600 RPM or something like that, and now it's engaging around 2400 RPM. So anyway, I hope that helped you guys out to kind of explain that in a little bit better terms. If it didn't, you know, please shoot me some comments. You know, I will be more than happy to answer them. And if there's anything, like I've always said, that you want me to see, want me to change about the channel, please let me know, because I can't improve it unless I hear from you guys. So if this was educational for you, give me the big old thumbs up and subscribe, and you guys have a blessed day.